When we like it's obviously it's intense. We all know that, but I mean we have to also keep our heads. It's the same as you play in a World Cup final. You don't do preparations different to any game. You prepare exactly the same. I mean, so nothing has changed our way. We know how much pressure there is in the game already, so we don't need to add anymore. So we've prepared properly, having Sasha take charge of the team, and obviously Ruan and Lord taking care of the line out. But nothing has been done that's special or out of the norm that we've done, because we've never done anything different to any games that we've won before or any big game that we've played in.
Yeah, Francois, when I had the news yesterday, it was very, very sad, and once again, the first thing that I thought about after I had the news was to think about his boy. I know how close he is with his boy. I know how supportive he was with his boy, for his boy, and his wife, So at that age, they still had some great years ahead between them as a family. And now to lose a father, at the age of 46, it's very, very sad, and it's really, really heartbreaking to lose a father at a young age, and I feel for his family, and I'm broken, and condolences to him and his family, and the only thing I can say for now is to God to protect the family, to protect the wife, to protect the son. I know it's going to be tough times for the family, but yeah, once again, condolences to their family.
Well, I think this game is big by itself for the fact that when we want to win and stay in the rugby championship, also there's the Freedom Cup in there. But I think also for these guys that are getting the opportunity for the first time here in New Zealand to also be able to get an opportunity like this, and also to feel what it feels like to win on tour. And I think that will give the guys a lot of confidence. And I think a lot of group had done it before. So yeah, it's a different game, but it's important as well in many different ways. We definitely learned from the previous game. We saw the strategy they have, and we made plans for that. And we will be ready for it this weekend. And I don't think they will change the way they played last week. But it's good to have Yassi back. But they also have backs who do counter the breakdown. Leroy, who came from the sevens, we saw clips of him. He also gets in the breakdown too, coming from the sevens thing. So it's not just the forwards; it's also the backline players. So we are well prepped for it. We know we weren't good enough, and most of the breakdowns in the game, especially the exit ones as well, they came in pretty hard for our breakdown last week. So we did work on it, and we obviously learned from it last week. Yeah, it was tough to see. I mean, to create 13 opportunities in the 22s and not take, we only took two of them. The opportunity, we only took two opportunities. You don't get that. Some teams get that maybe in a year, and you really get that against the All Blacks. And we just saw how we stuffed it up, and a lot of it was by our own doing, and that was a difficult part, in that game. So it was frustrating watching it after, and sometimes with an individual error, or this one, it was one after the other. So that was tough to watch, but yeah, hopefully we learn from it, and we can fix it this weekend when we get opportunities and take them. They didn't get a lot, but the ones that they had, they took them. It's good. I think the mixture of the team is really good. I think a lot of the guys that everybody is looking at our backline saying this is youngsters, a lot of the guys have played here before, and some of them have won 2 World Cups. A guy like Gaza, Sasha has played a couple of games. I think they also have guys who haven't had any games, who have less than double-digit games. So people are looking at it as if there's these youngsters who've just been thrown in. They've experienced this kind of level. If you look at the test caps and how many guys we have, it's not like a new team, but it's just that it's new when you don't see the regular names that you see each and every single time. It's been a thing for the team where every single person is getting an opportunity. And yes, this game is important. They're not just been thrown in there to learn. We're going to this game to win. They're coming in because they've got a different skill set that the coach wants to see for this specific weekend. And for the forwards, it's a strong pack who's played before to get a lot of experience in there. And the guys in the backline, they got to do their thing, but they can only do what they can do if we get our stuff right at the forwards, if we get them a front forward ball and get them good line-up balls. So it's a great mixture, and I'm looking forward to what the guys can do this weekend. Oh, it was tough. Thank you. It was tough. It was tough. The scrum sessions this week, it was, both packs put in the hard work, and I think we got what we needed to get out of it. It's never about who's going to dominate the other. We want to give our best to make sure that we both covered and ready for the game, and whoever plays at the time is ready for the game. So it was a good scrum session. It was very competitive, which was good, and I think the guys are ready for the game this weekend.
Yeah, Ken, I think if you look at the players in that backline, like Siya touched on it again, a lot of people don't realize these guys have been with us in our system for the past couple of years. You know, if you talk about Gaza is probably 27, he's already won 2 World Cups. You know, Sasha has been with us for the past 2 to 3 seasons. You know, I think the guy that I can say probably is slightly new in our system will probably be Ethan Hooker at wing, you know, but once again, also he deserves this opportunity. You know, we've tracked him, we've seen how he was performing for the Sharks, and one thing that I enjoy about him, besides his speed and physique, is his physical presence in the wider channels. You know, I think that's something that we're going to also need in the wider channels. You know, the All Blacks, they can be tough sometimes in the wider channels where they apply. You guys touch on the breakdown earlier on, you know. So I think Ethan will be able to handle some of those challenges in the wider channels. But once again, if I look at our backline, a lot of those players, they've been with us. They understand how we want to play the game. And once again, we keep on saying that it's a young backline. Probably what Siya mentioned, it's actually spot on. The fact that we're just so used to see certain names in our backline. But once again, we can't be, as a coaching staff, be too comfortable to always rely on same individuals, you know. So for me, I'm excited to see these guys getting an opportunity. And I like the balance of seeing guys like Cheslin Colby, you know, with Fassi at the back and Ethan Hooker, you know, which is those two guys, bit experience, you know, if I talk about Fassi and Cheslin, and then also having Cobus partnering with Sasha, you know, and Gaza has been one of our key players for the past couple of years. So I'm excited to see those guys, what they're going to do this coming weekend. But yeah, once again, we know it's not going to be easy, playing the All Blacks away from home. And and once again, to be honest, I think it was clear what happened last week is that we gave them a lot of soft moments, you know, especially in that first 20 minutes, you know, where we gave them 2 soft tries. You know, I think for us to be able to win against them in New Zealand, I think we'll have to be at our best for 80 minutes. You know, you're talking about world-class players. If you give them an opportunity, they will punish you, you know. So that's the difference between a team like when we played against probably Georgia and Italy, you know, where we were not at our best, but we could still get away with certain things where we could win the game. But I think New Zealand, you have to make sure that you're clinical, and also the opportunities that you get, you have to convert them into points. So it's going to be vital for us tomorrow to make sure that we perform for full 80 minutes.
No, we had a meeting about the calls that we didn't make right in the game and the opportunities that we lost, because we can't control what happens in the game. I mean, there was some stuff that we planned to do in the game that we didn't get right. So to focus on the ref, it's not the right thing to do, because there were so many things that we could have done so that we could win the game. So I haven't had a meeting with Carl, and yeah, that's not my place. My place is to make sure the team is ready to go.
Just to help on that question also, we've got someone who's an expert in our coaching staff, in our management, in the presence of Jaco Paper, and that is normally when you talk about match officials, Papes deals with all the match official meetings and all that stuff. We don't want to overload the players with a lot of stuff. You know, their job is to make sure that they focus on playing well on the weekend. Siya just said now, there were a couple of things I'm talking about now, players, they didn't do well on the day, and things that we made sure that we're going to try and fix this weekend. But when it comes to match officials, you know, we always try to build a strong relationship with them. And so far, it's been good, you know. So we trust Papes to handle that side, and yeah, hopefully things we can also fix the things that we needed to fix when it comes tomorrow, and then hopefully things will go according to our plan also.
Ethan, I think it's I know it's his hard work. He works really hard, very humble, very quiet guy, but he's not quiet by the way he works, and He's deserved everything that he's gotten when playing with the Sharks. You know, he started at centre and then he playing wing, never complained, you know, and he worked hard to get here, and he got here and he had to wait for his opportunity. But every single training session and just seeing, we have ratings where roadmaps where they rate you, and his roadmaps was really incredible and amazing to, they compared it to previous players. So it's been really great to see how he's grown in the team. And I'm really excited for him tomorrow and playing against, I think, Will Jordan opposite him. I think it's a great opportunity for him to go show what he can do. And I'm excited for him, and I'm really happy for him, for Ethan. He's a mate of mine, very good friend of mine. So this is a happy moment for me, for him, and obviously the union as well. Yeah, I do enjoy. You always want to play against the best. When you get this opportunity, you don't know how long you're gonna do that for, and it's always an honor playing against him. And he's a very good friend of mine, and yeah, I always try and rip each other's heads off in the game. But I'm proud of everything he's achieved for him. His brother, who's been a big role model to him, who's guided him throughout his journey. His parents too, for everything they've done to get them to where they are today. And obviously his wife Saskia, who's been a strong supporter in him, and obviously his 3 kids. So I'm really happy and proud of everything that he's achieved. Obviously it was tough for us that we lost the match, but yeah, well done to him, and it's going to be another opportunity to go at each other tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think for us as coaching staff, we always try to make sure that we go deep into the opposition's DNA, talk about the strengths, And once again, like I touched on it earlier on, is that when you play against the All Blacks, they're not number 1 in the world for no reason. They've got world-class players. Like I said again, certain things that we got away, when we played against Georgia and Italy back at home, where we went at our best, and we still managed to win the game. Against the All Blacks in New Zealand, you can't afford it, You saw the soft moments that we gave them early in the game last week, where we gave them soft 14 points, and guys like Jordan, they will punish you, So the key thing for us is to make sure that we pitch up from the first whistle and make sure that we stay in the fight, because, once again, playing against the All Blacks, you can never switch off in the game with the quality of the players they've got in that team, And yeah, there were a couple of things that I feel like, we need to improve on, more especially breakdown, because we've created a lot of opportunities, We had about 22-meter entries, only converted 2. So if you want to be the best in the world, you have to make sure that your conversion rate, when it comes to inside the 22, you have to make sure that you grab your opportunities. So yeah, I think the key thing from our side is to make sure that when we get opportunities, we have to make sure that we convert them into points. And then also on the other side, we need to be clinical against the All Blacks.
No, he's empowered within our structures. I think all of us, our systems are there to help us when a lot is not going right. We know what to fall back into. But the coaches, what they encourage us is what we are good at. Like, they picked us for a reason to be here, and Sasha is one of those guys who can create something out of nothing, and the coaches encourage that. They don't box us up. So it's exciting to play with Sasha, because sometimes he creates stuff out of nothing. And Gaza as well, outside him, Damien Bellemse, he's also the same when you get a guy like Cheslin. So we work as hard as we can to make sure that our line-outs, our mauling and the breakdown is working well. And then we'll play until there's opportunities for them to show that. And then the team, within the structure, they're allowed to do whatever is obviously in the skill set to get the team go forward or create opportunities for the team.
Yeah, we know Henry is a very, very solid player, when it comes to how he manages the game, and he's very, very well organized. I'm talking about how he controls and his leadership in that position. And everyone knows that also the kicking game is part of his strengths, when we need him, sometimes it does help us a lot and save us games, And but once again, if I look at a guy like Sasha, still young, a lot of X factor. But one thing that I enjoy about him is his leadership skills while he's still young, and the way how he conducts himself around the team. And once again, the background where he comes from the Stormers, where a lot of those players, when they given opportunity and time and space, they can hit any team, So one thing that I enjoy about him is his maturity while he's still young, and also the fact that he's a very, very confident player, He's one of those players where, like Siya just said now, you don't box him, So I like the fact that even if, yes, he will make errors, 1 or 2 mistakes, but one thing that I enjoy about him, which is which is also similar to what Mane does. He'll make a mistake, but he'll also make sure that he doesn't stop trying. He keeps on asking questions to the opposition. And I think, once again, if you look at the opportunities we created last week, where we didn't convert, I feel like, we need some fresh, young energy, guys that will be excited to get those opportunities. If you look at the balance in our back line, you've got Ken and Moody also who's been with us for a while, but once again, if you look at the excitement that he brings on the field, I think it's something that we're looking forward as a team. So once again, when it comes to Sasha, we know he's got a bit of an X factor, but I like his maturity also.
Well, I think it's the same for both teams. The Freedom Cup, the win will get us the Freedom Cup, and also being number one in the world. And obviously, we want to stay in the rugby championship, and we want to win. So if we get a win today, that keeps those hopes alive. And I think both teams are judged on the same things. I mean, our country is very proud, and our supporters love and passionately about us, but they're also critical and they're hard, and we deserve it, and we don't complain about it because they care, and the team means so much to them. So we know that's also always there, that we know it's not just playing for the sake of playing, or it's just a rugby game for us. It means so much more to the people back home. So there's also that, we play for our names, our families, the people that we care about as well. And I think it's the same for your boys as well. So there's a lot in that, but we take that in our stride within the game, because I think, as old coach always says, there's so much more. There's people who have far bigger pressures than that, and for us, we're doing what we love, we just want to get the win this weekend, give everything we can to get the win. Because it's important for the championship, and obviously the world ranking too, that's also there. So there's a lot in it for both teams.
I think just to help again also on that question, I think this is probably going to be one of the biggest weekend when it comes to this year's rugby championship regarding results. If you look at what's happening also on the other side, you've got Argentina, who lost the game probably in the 84th minute of the game. They're on 5 points, So if they get maximum points tomorrow against Australia, they jump into 10. We're on 5 points. If we get maximum points against New Zealand, then all of a sudden it's a different case, So I know we've compared the game to 2018. In 2018, we wanted to just get a chance from our people where they believe in us. But this game is totally opposite compared to what we had in 2018, There's a lot at stakes here, touch on it now. So if we win the game, the Freedom Cup, we'll be able to return it. And then also to give ourselves a chance, we want to win the rugby championship. So I know one thing for sure, if we don't take our opportunities tomorrow, probably it will be end of the road for us when it comes to the competition. But if we win, it's a different case, And one thing that I'm excited about, I know we were disappointed with all the results we didn't get against Australia back at home. We didn't get the results that we were looking for also last week. But you can just imagine, with all the challenges that we had, to be able to turn things around and stand a chance to win the competition at the end. I think that will be something that very, very nice for the competition also, So once again, not only for us, I think if you look at all 4 teams that are taking part, I think it's going to be an interesting weekend.